Trial closes. Define what trial closes are. Why do we use trial closes? When do we use them? Define what trial closes are. Trial closes are questions that a sales representative asks to determine the sincerity and frame of mind of a customer, test the waters and see if the prospect is accepting your ideas during a sales presentation, help the prospect take mental ownership of what you are selling, gain agreement, acceptance, commitment, draw out potential objections. Why do we use trial closes? You would ask a trial close to test the waters and explore how the customer is feeling about what you are discussing. In addition, by having them verbalize what they are thinking and or feeling, they will begin to take mental ownership. You help prospects accept ideas and concepts by presenting them in an effective manner. By getting people involved, you expedite the process and make it much easier for them to make the transition to ownership. Involve as many of the prospect's senses as you can when asking questions, demonstrating the product, or making a presentation. When you say, "See this," point at what you want them to see. Say, "Feel this," as you pass them a product or invite the prospect to try something out. Exclaim, "Sample a taste," if you're selling an edible product or an event or service that includes food or beverages as part of the experience. Tell them to experience the aroma if you're presenting a product that has a pleasant odor. State, "Give this a listen," if the product that you're selling makes soothing sounds. I remember when I purchased a Mazda 626 a few years ago, the salesperson made a point of starting the engine while the hood was open so I could hear how quietly it ran. This was impressive and obviously memorable. Trial closes help prospects make a series of small decisions. When do we or should we use them? Professional sales representatives are in the habit of asking trial closes all the time during the sales process. They use them so that they are always in the mode of asking for feedback or commitment from the customer. That way, asking for the order is never awkward or uncomfortable. It is normal and natural. A mental decision-making process takes place with every purchase. It begins with a recognized or confirmed need, advances to researching possible solutions, progresses to weighing options or choices, evolves to narrowing down the field using both emotional and logical reasoning, and is finalized by a decision. This is exactly what happens every time that you are hungry. There is a definite difference between a prospect that calls on you versus a prospect that you initiate contact with. The person who calls on you has already recognized a need or desire to make a purchase. They have already opened their mind to the possibility of ownership. The individual that you call on may have a wall of resistance, may be neutral about what you offer, or, if your timing is right, they may have an open frame of mind to consider your perspective. No matter what the case, it's not until you successfully get the prospect to accept your ideas in their mind that you will make the transition to ownership. Practice assumptive trial closes like, "Of the models that we've discussed, which do you prefer?" Or, "When will you be wanting to take possession?" These questions can be asked in a soft and subtle manner, but each one helps the prospect mentally take ownership of the product or service we're selling. Here are some additional examples of trial closes. Based on what we've discussed up to this point in the conversation, does what I'm suggesting make sense and seem reasonable to you? Are these terms and conditions acceptable to your company? Can you see how this product or service will benefit you? Do you agree that this is a better way of doing business? What value would this more productive method have for you? Here are some additional examples. Can you picture, imagine, visualize yourself using this product? Does this seem like a sensible solution to you? Where will you want our service people to set up this equipment? Have you thought about how or where our delivery people will install the merchandise? What do you like about what I've told you so far? How soon would you like to begin improving the current situation? There is an art to using trial closes so that they sound genuine, sincere, well-timed, and appropriate to the conversation. Use caution when asking trial closes. Spread them out. Don't overdo it. Pay attention to prospect reactions. If they are reluctant to commit or respond, their answers are vague and without substance, or they become agitated, these are important cues that you do not want to miss. What are some examples of questions that you could or should ask during your customer interactions and sales appointments to gain commitment and valuable feedback that simplifies your ability to close a sale? What do you like most about what we've discussed to this point? What are your thoughts on this? How do you feel about that? Do you agree with this information? Can you see how this will benefit you or your organization? Can you picture yourself using, installing, or taking advantage of this? How do you think your management will accept this new process? Is this in line with what you were expecting? Have I provided you with enough information or ammunition to convince you to go ahead? What sort of things or points should you be asking for feedback or commitment on? Facts and figures, i.e., where are you showing justification, financial gains, or expense reductions that you are presenting? When you are explaining features, advantages, and benefits. Anything that is new or different and requires some sort of change for the customer or prospect. Pricing, price point, or range. This concludes step number 5 of the learning path. Please click on the green Next button with the white arrow in order to advance to the next step.